you have ADHD and you ever thought you might have OCD, this video is for you. So, growing up, I thought I maybe had OCD because I was obsessed with things being a certain way with my routine, doing things in a certain order, making sure that things were put away in the exact same spot so I could find them again. And what I realized is that actually wasn't OCD. It sounds like OCD. From the outside, it looked like OCD, but what was going on inside of me tells me as a clinician that it wasn't OCD. Here's why. A lot of us with ADHD learned how to mask by overfunctioning, by having these elaborate systems and ways of doing things that we adhered to very strictly, lest the shit hit the fan, right? Like everything fall apart. And so for me, it wasn't so much that I was anxious if someone moved something of mine, or it wasn't so much that there was an anxiety about not doing in the order for the sake of the order, or something not being put away in the right spot because it wasn't in the right spot. It was more genuine concern that I would not be able to find it, or I would not remember to do it if I didn't put things in the same place as I usually put them. If I didn't do my morning routine in the same order, I might forget to do something like put on deodorant, which would have been mortifying in high school. So, a lot of times, what can look like OCD is really just parts of us trying to help us keep our shit together with ADHD. And this can show up today, certainly in our lives now. I have a very strong morning routine and I do things in a certain order. From the outside, I might look like I have OCD or even autism, and I might be ADHD versus ADHD. I've not been assessed for that. But also, the reason that routine is there is because I learned from a very young age that by following that routine, there are environmental cues that keep me on track, that make it less likely that all of a sudden I'll catch myself sweeping my basement stairs or researching Greenland. So it's one of those things that it's like, yes, it keeps you on top of it. So I was talking to someone on a coaching call this week, and they were saying that they're very tidy, just not super great at cleaning, and that's exactly me, and it might be you as well. I'm very good at putting things where they belong because I have to be, because if I don't, I will never find them. Some people can have the elaborate pile system and just chuck stuff in a pile and they know where it is. That is not how my ADHD brain works. So for me, things have to go away. For me, the put it down don't put it down, put it away is essential because otherwise I'm a hot mess. And so I'm curious if you too notice things that look potentially OCD, but really is a strong adherence to something that helps you function with ADHD. A lot of times OCD is anxiety about like contamination or things have to be in a certain order or else. And sure, perhaps you could meet criteria for OCD if you're doing this, but a lot of times the source, the inner reason you're doing it is different. I will say this. This might be a controversial way to talk about OCD. A lot of people think they're OCD, people toss that term around, but legitimate obsessive compulsive disorder, every time I've seen someone with it, it's clear to me that they have these protector parts that are trying to keep them safe from something. And maybe I am describing how we with ADHD get ourselves to not lose stuff and follow a routine and function. At the same time, a lot of people with OCD have a part that is trying to protect them from something, maybe from germs. A part saw someone get sick, or they know someone got sick, or they read something, someone got sick. So they're obsessively, or I should say compulsively washing their hands. They're obsessively thinking about contamination. And to me and my IFS therapy brain, IFS coach brain is saying, how is that not just a part protecting? How is that not just some form of trauma or inner wounding or fear that they picked up in their life from some event that was deeply upsetting, if not traumatizing. So I think it's important that we start to flip the narrative on what we think of as OCD, particularly when we also have ADHD, because it may just be a part of you trying to help you function to the best of its ability. It's just that it may or may not be working for you anymore. And that's for you to consider. If you're not subscribed already, I would love it if you would subscribe and comment below. How do you see OCD like symptoms showing up with your ADHD? Let's get the conversation going. All right. I look forward to connecting. Take care.